These collisions froze stadiums, rewrote rules, and made legends flinch. 20 infamous NFL hits, told with respect for safety, where football's raw force changed champions, careers, and the game itself. Number 1. Lawrence Taylor sacks Joe Theismann, 1985. A simple flea flicker becomes a career-ending catastrophe under Monday Night Lights. Lawrence Taylor bends the edge, wraps Joe Theismann, and bodies tangle as the leg gives. The roar dies to silence. Taylor frantically signals for trainers, a snapshot burned into football memory. Protection rules, chip blocks, and the modern sensitivity around quarterback safety all sharpened after this moment. It taught fans and players that toughness has limits, and that speed plus leverage could turn one routine snap into a sport-defining shock. Number 2. Jack Tatum collides with Darryl Stingley, 1978. A preseason crossing route in Oakland becomes a tragedy that echoes for decades. Jack Tatum meets Darryl Stingley at full speed, shoulder and helmet arriving as the ball does. Stingley is left paralyzed, and the sport's conscience is altered. Conversations about defenseless receivers, head and neck safety, and ethical tackling sharpen in the years that follow. This was not a highlight. It was a wake-up call that pushed the NFL toward rules that prioritize outcomes, not intent, in the most vulnerable spaces. Number 3. Vontaze Burfict on Antonio Brown, 2016 wildcard game. Steelers versus Bengals, a rivalry already boiling. Antonio Brown reaches across the middle, and Vontaze Burfict arrives high in the final minute. Flags fly, sideline chaos erupts, and a playoff game flips. Suspensions, fines, and debates about repeat offender discipline dominate the week. This hit crystallized modern targeting conversations, concussion protocol visibility, and how a single decision can reshape a postseason. It is the stark line between intimidation and unacceptable risk, drawn under the brightest lights imaginable. Number 4. Ryan Clark and Willis McGahee, 2009 AFC Championship. Steelers and Ravens meet like two trains on the same track. Midfield, late and violent. Ryan Clark and Willis McGahee collide with a sound that turns the crowd to stone. Both players remain down, and football's bravado gives way to concern. It is a lesson in physics, speed, angle, leverage, and human limits. Hits like this nudge the league to tighten the strike zone and coach contact that finishes through the chest and shoulders, not the head and neck. Number 5. James Harrison on Mohamed Massaquoi, 2010. A crosser in traffic, a safety closing, and a helmet snapping back. James Harrison strikes Mohamed Massaquoi with old-school ferocity. The aftermath becomes a rulebook seminar. Fines arrive, outrage flares, and language around defenseless receivers hardens. Teaching tape evolves, eyes up, shoulders through, wrap and finish without launching. Harrison's season becomes a case study, the hinge between a proud, punishing past and a technique first present that tries to preserve the violence of football without permanent harm. Number 6. James Harrison on Josh Cribbs, 2010. Same season, same storm. Josh Cribbs runs past a Wildcat keeper and gets erased by Harrison just as he transitions from passer to runner. No flag then, endless debate after. Was he protected or not? The gray area exposed by this one snap forces the league to define transitional status, clarifying when protection applies. Defenders adjust pad level and angle on option looks, and offenses accept the price of ambiguity. It is the moment that made everyone learn the fine print. Number 7. Hines Ward's blindside on Keith Rivers, 2008. The art of the crackback meets its reckoning. Hines Ward, famous for finishing blocks, blindsides rookie linebacker Keith Rivers, breaking a jaw and ending a season. The league responds with strict blindside blocking rules. Fan nicknames call it the Hines Ward rule, but the bigger legacy is cultural. Receiver blocking moves from ambush to technique. Square, hands inside, legal contact. Film rooms still pause here, not to celebrate carnage, but to mark the day the standard changed. Number 8. Roy Williams horse collars Terrell Owens, 2004. Terrell Owens accelerates. Roy Williams reaches inside the back of the pads and yanks downward. The way Owens folds is nightmare geometry for ligaments. The horse collar band arrives quickly and clearly. One habitual tackle technique becomes a relic, replaced by pursuits that finish through the hips or shoulders, not the collar. It is a perfect example of rulemaking driven by anatomy and physics, and proof that small changes can save seasons without softening the sport's competitive edge. Number 9. Sheldon Brown levels Reggie Bush, 2007 divisional round. Reggie Bush releases to the flat, eyes on the ball, and Sheldon Brown times the throw like a drumbeat. Impact is shoulder to chest, legal by the era's standards, and devastating. The ball flutters, Bush spins, and the stadium erupts. This is the clean brutality that offenses must game plan around. Quarterbacks learn to sell looks without hanging teammates, and receivers learn depth discipline. Brown's strike lives as a clinic tape for reading eyes, breaking on time, and finishing within the rules. Number 10. Sean Taylor blasts Brian Moorman, 2007 Pro Bowl. The Pro Bowl is supposed to be a jog. Sean Taylor brings a creed instead. Bills punter Brian Moorman takes a fake and meets a safety who treats every snap like a promise. Taylor's shoulder plants in the midsection, perfect and merciless. Sidelines gasp, then laugh in disbelief. It is iconic not because it hurt someone in a showcase, but because it distilled Taylor's ethos. Even surrounded by half speed, elite effort still creates a moment you never forget. Number 11. Steve Atwater stops Christian Okoye, 1990. The Nigerian nightmare almost never retreats. Steve Atwater erases that almost. He fills the alley, sets his base, and meets Okoye head on. The sound is leather and thunder. Okoye stops cold. No flag, no controversy, only technique and courage. Coaches still teach this as the gold standard for leverage, pad level, and collision management without recklessness. It proves that some of the nastiest hits are also the cleanest, born from angles, film study, and fearless execution. Number 12. Cam Chancellor greets Demaryius Thomas, Super Bowl 48. Early throws tell the story. Denver tests the middle, and Cam Chancellor responds with a statement. He meets Demaryius Thomas at the catch point, shoulder through, timing exactly. It is legal, impactful, and psychological. Seattle's plan tightens, Denver's spacing shrinks, and confidence shifts. The Legion of Boom built a doctrine: form first, fear second. One collision becomes the night's thesis, showing how a single clean hit can shade every route that follows. Number 13. Malcolm Jenkins levels Brandon Cooks, Super Bowl 52. New England motions Brandon Cooks into space, hits a wheel, and Malcolm Jenkins closes like a curtain. Cooks spins from contact, then collapses, and the Patriots lose a mismatched weapon. The game recalibrates instantly. Legal by the book, devastating in effect. This hit demonstrates how tackling changes the chessboard. One moment removed the speed stressor that kept New England honest, and it gave the Eagles the freedom to play heavier coverages that fit their plan. Number 14. Dante Robinson and Deshaun Jackson, 2010. Two fast men share one bad angle. Robinson arrives as Jackson reaches, and both crash to earth. Flags, fines, and a new era of coaching points follow. The league narrows the strike zone and emphasizes sternum to numbers finishes on defenseless receivers. It is the clip that made even highlight shows pause. You can feel the sport choosing its future in the rules that came after, trading spectacle for sustainability without losing the contest's essential ferocity. Number 15. Bernard Pollard takes out Tom Brady's knee, 2008. Not a violent highlight, but maybe the most consequential single hit. Tom Brady plants, Bernard Pollard dives low in a collapsing pocket, and the ligament tears. The NFL draws a circle around quarterback legs near the pocket. Defenders cannot lunge or roll into knees when already on the ground. Call it the Brady rule or the cost of protecting quarterbacks, but every edge rusher's finish changed that fall, and the passing era kept right on roaring. Number 16. LeVar Arrington collides with Troy Aikman, 2000. Troy Aikman sets. LeVar Arrington closes with perfect shoulder placement, and the back of the helmet greets turf. Another concussion, another great career nearing the end. Clean by rules, haunting by outcome. Sometimes the nastiest hits are the ones that persuade legends to listen to their bodies. This play is still discussed in the context of long-term health. the role of turf and head impacts, and how defenses can play hard while respecting the finality of certain collisions. Number 17. Eric Smith and Anquan Boldin, 2008. Kurt Warner lofts a prayer. Anquan Boldin waits a hair too long beneath it, and Eric Smith arrives high. The impact fractures faces and hearts. Boldin's return months later is a testament to will, but the rulebook returns sooner. Definitions of defenseless receivers tighten. Crown contact draws heavier penalties, and launch is policed. Film rooms grow quiet when this clip rolls because it marks the moment coaches taught target zones with a new urgency. Number 18. TJ Ward goes low on Rob Gronkowski, 2013. Protect the head, save the brain, and defenders adjust. Rob Gronkowski turns off-field as TJ Ward aims low and inside. The knee buckles and a paradox arrives. When one zone becomes off-limits, another absorbs the force. Offenses adjust route depth and throttle down zones to reduce exposure. Defenses coach rugby finishes and safer angles. The hit is a painful reminder that safety is a moving problem set, solved with intent more than perfection. Number 19. Jadeveon Clowney on Carson Wentz, 2019 wildcard. Playoff speed lives in gray areas. Carson Wentz dives, Jadeveon Clowney arrives as he goes down, and contact rides high enough to end a season. Was it incidental, late, or unavoidable? The week becomes a seminar on quarterback protection and transition. Officials, coaches, and players all wrestle with language and angles that change in real time. One hit tilts a bracket and tests how well rules handle the split-second reality of January football. Number 20. Cam Chancellor separates Vernon Davis, 2012. Vernon Davis streaks down the seam, eyes big, and Cam Chancellor prowls from depth. Contact is textbook and terrifying. The ball bursts free, and a drive dies. The crowd detonates. This became the defining gif of Seattle's swagger, proof that intimidation can live inside legality. Receivers heard footsteps for weeks after. It is the rare collision that satisfies purists and modernists alike, balancing force with form and turning a single tackle into a team identity. Did you enjoy hard history and smarter football? Subscribe, like, and comment your nastiest hit. Share this with a fan, respect player safety, and join us next episode for deeper game stories.